So hello guys, welcome to another video. In this video we will see how to configure RSET for the cloud hosted as well as the UAT environment. And first of all we would start with the separate project for the RSET in LCS. So basically you would need different project other than the implementation project or the main project which you are using for the development, because with the implementation or the main project you have already configured the Azure DevOps or VSTS configuration for that project. So we would need separate VSTS connection for the RSET test cases. So that's the reason we would need a different project. It's very easy to create project in LCS. So you need to name it as any prefix you want and ending up with the RSET or any name containing word RSET. So that's how you can differentiate it with another project. So this project would be dedicated to only RSET test cases, which is a connection between the business process modeler, that is BPM, and the DevOps test cases. So that's the reason we are creating totally different project for this. So I will also show you how to create that. So there would be no different topology other than the finance and operation projects. So you could select any methodology, just go with the finance and operations while creating a project. So it's very easy to create project in LCS. Just go back to the LCS home page and there is a plus button where you can create a new project for your particular user. I will show you how to do that also. So here is a home page, so you can click on that plus button, and so after clicking on that plus button you would get different options such as project name and different methodology as well as the product name. So product name would be your finance and operation only, any methodology would be fine, and you can tick this button so you could get the existing user from the implementation or main project. So I would suggest to tick that also. So in Azure DevOps, where your implementation project is there, create another project under the same organization, and it would be dedicated only for the RSET purpose. So you could mention same name as that of the LCS project which is created for RSET, so or any name which contains word RSET, so you could easily identify that. So here we are creating project for that only. So I am naming it as a RSET and visibility would be private. So one more thing I would like to add here, that like when you first time navigate to dev.azure.com after creating organization, there is option to create project. When you click on that, you would only see the project name and visibility option for that project only. So I would suggest go back from this process and again try to create new project from your organization page. After that you could see the option button as advanced. So that button would be helpful for you to give methodology and the rights for that project. So give the name as you want for this project and select the visibility for the project. So click on that advanced button. So after that, for version control you would select the team foundation version control, and work process would be agile. Okay, so click on that create project button. It would say 404 page not found. Just refresh this page or just go back. Refreshing this page would help you. Otherwise you can go back and from your organization you could navigate to this project is already created, don't worry about that. So here I am just refreshing this page, so it is not working. So just go back to your home page and select the organization. The project would be created with the same name. So here I am navigating, so you could see the project is already created for that. For now we need to get the access token and organization name in particular format for the LCS project which we have created. So we will also do that. So here you can see. Also I would like to let you know that for the Azure DevOps test cases or creating test cases in Azure DevOps, you would need basic plus test plan. If you only have the basic plan, then it will not allow you to create test cases. There is a free subscription for 30 days for basic plus test plan, so you could choose that. So here I am creating personal access token which is needed for the LCS process, as I said previously. So you could provide access right, particular access right you can say, and date for the expiration. Maximum you could go with the 1 year. So here I am selecting it for the 1 year, and you could provide the access level as full access, and after that you would get the token number. So just copy that token number and save it in proper place, because this would be visible only one time. After that you need to create another token if you want, or regenerate the same token. So I would suggest to save it properly, because it would be helpful in other processes also. Now we would create test cases, test suites for this project. So after creating personal access token, we need to navigate back to our project homepage. So I'm navigating there, and after this now click on that test plan section. After clicking on that test plan section, we will be navigated to test plan page. So here we can see all the details about the test plan. So here we can see the new test plan button. We need to click on that button so we can create new test plan. You can provide any name for your test plan. Here I am for demonstration providing some name, random name, nothing any special here, and click on that new test plan button. Provide the test plan name, and other than that you can see the area path for that and project. And after providing the name, you just click on that create button. When you click on that create button, the test plan is created. It might take a while for this. After that we need to create new test suite or suite for the test plans, and type would be new static suite. So click on that 3 dots and new static suite, new suite, and under that static suite provide name for that. In some cases people create two different static suite. One is for the finance and operation, and another is for the retail POS. So in this case we are only creating for the finance and operation side. So provide any name. You can create sub folders or folder structure here in this, and after that you could provide test cases. So here we are only left with the test cases section. So here in the top we can see the project name, organization name, and all the other details, and previously we have created access token for the same. So we need to provide the details of both in the LCS project. So we are going to do that only now. So let's navigate back to the LCS project which we have created for the RSET, and I have copied the organization name here. So we need to create link same as that of provided in the Azure Develop URL. You can use Notepad to create the link, or otherwise you can just remember it and try to replicate the same with the link mentioned there. And after providing this URL, just scroll down, don't click on that continue button, as it says you need personal token for that also. So provide the personal token which we have created in previous step. So after clicking on that, click on that continue button. Once we have all the details, so here we need to select the project also, and methodology and all these things are fetched. Again click on that continue and then save. So after saving this, we have successfully linked the LCS project to the Azure DevOps project, you can say, and now we are left with only the process where we create a BPM library which would provide test cases in the Azure DevOps. Now you need to open the regression automation tool, RSet tool. In the RSet tool configuration section, we need to provide the Azure DevOps URL with your organization name as well as the SOAP name and host name, and the thumbprint we need to generate, which will create 2 certificates. And in thumbprint section you can copy the thumbprint for those certificates. So one will be certificate file and one will be installer for that. So we need to copy both of these and paste it in the cloud hosted environment, and also we need to insert this thumbprint in the WIF file of your cloud hosted environment. And now, as you know that Microsoft have removed complete access of UAT, we need to perform some different step for the UAT environment, which I will show how to configure for the UAT environment in the later part of this video, you can say. And once the thumbprint is generated, you need to copy this thumbprint as well as the certificate and certificate installer to the desired VM, like VM where we are going to run this automated tool for the testing. And you can see the certificates are generated and the installer is also generated here. You can provide the name as you like for these certificates, and we need to copy this and paste it in the cloud hosted environment and need to install it in the personal as well as the trusted user section. So after double clicking on the certificate directly, you can install, or otherwise you can install via installer. So I am directly installing using certificate only. So just for information, I am showing how to install with the installer, you can say. So ignore the password in this section, and in the personal section we need to install the certificate as well as the trusted root source. Here you can see I have installed in the personal section. Now again with the, instead of current user, just click on the local machine, it would be better. Trusted root certification, install in that section. Click on yes. Now you have successfully installed both the certificates. After this step, we need to navigate to the WIF file location. Basically it's in the K drive, AOS and web root section, and we need to open this file with the notepad as administrator, otherwise you can't make any changes. But before that, I would suggest you to copy that file and paste it anywhere else, or just create duplicate file of the same in case you make any mistake in the original file and it would get corrupted. In that case, it is better idea to just duplicate the file. Via notepad you could open the same file. I am doing that only, and you can see I have opened the file WIF config, and we need to just copy the structure for the any thumbprint which is there in wif file. Just copy one section of it and paste it under any thumbprint section and mention the thumbprint which was generated in the RSet tool previously. Don't worry about any detailed steps. I have mentioned all this information in my blog also, so you could find information regarding this there also. So just paste the thumbprint and the CN would be 127 dot, as you can see here in blog, and copy that thumbprint and paste thumbprint generated in the RSet tool. Once you have successfully created block for our thumbprint, just save the file. After saving the file, close the file, and now we can go back to our RSet section and mention your company name. For the host name and SOAP name, host name section you can have your cloud hosted environment link, and for SOAP section I would show how to find the SOAP link for the cloud hosted environment. It is in the IIS section of your cloud hosted environment. In IIS, go to the OS services, and under that you can find the host name and the SOAP name. So wait, I will show you that also, like how to find out the host name and SOAP name. Also we need to select the project name and test plan, and need to click on that test connection button. Okay, so now I will show you how to find out the SOAP and host name for the RSet tool. In your cloud hosted environment, search for the IIS. Now open the IIS manager. In the IIS manager, click on that environment name under the start page. Under that, click on the down arrow and open the AOS services. On AOS services, edit binding option is there. Click on that edit binding, and here in host name you can find host name and the SOAP name is there. So SOAP name is having SOAP mentioned in the link, so here you can find the host name and SOAP name for your RSet, which I was telling you we need to mention in the RSet tool. Okay, in the business process library section, we need to create new library as RSet. To navigate to business process libraries, just click on the hamburger icon on the right side of your lifecycle services, and after that you could navigate to business process libraries. And after navigating to business process libraries, create a new library named as a RSet, or name as you want for the RSet purpose. And after creating the RSet library, navigate to the processes which you have, and you can add the child process under the existing process, or completely you can create a new process for the RSet test cases. The process name should be same as that of operation, like sales order creation or posting of sales order, something like that. So you need to mention that also over there. Here for the demonstration purpose I am mentioning any random name, and you can find there are lots of options, but we don't need those options here. It's just that we need to rename the process, and after that we need to sync this BPM library with the Azure DevOps. Now we need to sync this library with the VSTS sync, and one more sync is there. First we need to click on that VSTS sync button. It will sync this library with the Azure DevOps. All these steps are mentioned in the blog itself, so you could also find out word to word detail for that. So here I am just showing you for the demonstration purpose. And you could you could do the VSTS sync from the main BPM library, or otherwise you could do it from the process itself, but it's better idea to do it from the BPM library, I would say. So just navigate back to the BPM library and do the VSTS syncs from over there. In the process requirement section, you can also find the name of the test case and the test case ID which is assigned to this process once you have successfully synced the VSTS sync. Once your VSTS is synced, again we need to do one more sync for the test cases sync. Click on that 3 dots again. Now we need to sync the test cases also. Once we are done with both the sync process, just go back to your finance and operation environment, and under that we need to perform some actions, and we need to record it using task recorder. So just click on the create task recorder and provide the same name as that of the process which we created in the BPM library basically. So provide that name and click on start. After that we need to perform some task like creating sales order or purchase order, and you can also see the steps which you have performed in the right hand side under the task recorder section. Here I am creating sales order and recording that using the task recorder. So basically this task recording will be saved as a test case for our scenario, so I am fast forwarding it just a bit to save the time. So there is proper manual for RSET tool, like how to create test cases and all those things, so from Microsoft. So I will also mention that in description, so you can find out like how to create test cases and what are the best practices for the same, so you can use that as well. And you can manually save the file for the task recording as XML file, or you can directly use the BPM library for saving this file. So in this case we are using Lifecycle Services BPM basically to save the recording, and you need to approve that first time, like because we have created a separate project for the RSET, and after successfully providing authentication for that, you could click on that OK button. Now it is saved in the BPM against the respective file or process which you have selected over there. Now we need to just import that test case in our test plan or test suite, you can say. So just click on the down arrow and run the query here. It would pull the test case from our BPM library. So add the test case. So test case is now added to our test plan or test suite, you can say. Now from RSET tool you just need to click on that load button, so it would load our test plan, test suite. Just click on that test suite, double click on that test suite. Now you can see the test case. So first time you need to select the test case and click on that new button. It will create artifacts for that test case, basically the parameter which we are going to provide to the test case. Like you can change item number for that particular process if you don't want to duplicate the same record, or if you have any validation over the duplicate record. So you could change any item name or the name for any product or something like that. So this is the Excel file which is the artifact, you can say, or parameter file for this test case. So here you can change various options, and once you have saved the changes in the Excel file, you just need to run the test case. So just open your regression suite tool And so once you click on that run button, it will start performing some of the actions which are there from the task recorder. Or first time for the RSet tool, you need to download the Selenium drivers for your browser, basically Chrome browser or your Edge browser. So first of all you need to download that. It will automatically download that, so don't worry. So here you can see the RSet tool have took the whole control of your test basically. So it's performing steps which you have recorded through the task recorder, and it will fetch the steps from the task recorder, and also the provide values from your Excel basically. So it's combination of steps from the task recorder and parameter or values which you have provided from the Excel file. So let's wait for this. It will take a time, so I will just fast forward these steps and show you the end result. So here we go. I have just increased the speed for this particular test, so you could save time over this test case. So let's see how it goes. And after completion of your test case, in result section you would see green tick. This green tick means that you have successfully performed your steps using the RSet tool. And also you can check its result in the DevOps execution chart. So that's from the what you can say DevOps side. Let's see execution from our test case. How are the results for our test case and whether they are fetched or not. Here just you can see under the execute section it says passed. So basically your test case is passed. For the case of UAT or sandbox, you just need to go under the maintenance section and need to download the certificates. So for the first time when you download the certificate, you would get the password for the installer basically. So when you click on this yes button, it will show you the password for the installer. And if you don't get password while downloading the certificate from this option, you can just regenerate that. So that would be the better option when you don't get the password for the installer basically. So just copy that in the notepad section, and after this when you have downloaded the certificate, you need to install the certificate in the machine where RSet is installed. So basically it is little bit different than the what you can say cloud hosted environment process, where you would install that to the server where on which we need to perform the test. So just install this certificate in the machine where the RSet is installed. And also for the thumbprint section, we need to look forward for that certificate. So I have downloaded this certificate, and you need to extract this file basically. So this would contain two files. One is installer and another one is a certificate for RSet. So just open it through the installer, user, machine, you can say current machine, current user or current machine option. So you can choose the user option, machine option, and now paste the password which we have received from the LCS. And now install this certificate into the personal and trusted root certification, you can say. Now again I will install for the trusted root certification option. Again we need to paste the password from the LCS. Trusted root certification authentication, and we have successfully completed the process of installation of certificates. Now other than this, we need to copy the thumbprint from the certificate details page to the RSET tool. So first of all, we need to copy this certificate thumbprint and paste it in the notepad and remove the unwanted spaces from the notepad. Basically, sometimes it bit headache, like when you remove the spaces from this thumbprint, and you would get a particular thumbprint. So when you copy this thumbprint to the RSET tool, it says it's invalid thumbprint. So in that case, you need to perform some steps. For that, you need to copy the thumbprint from the certificates detail section and copy it and paste it to the notepad section, and from the notepad remove the unwanted spaces and copy the whole thumbprint and paste it in the Google Chrome, and from the Google Chrome itself you could copy that thumbprint and paste it in the your RSET section, and it would work because these steps are suggested by Microsoft, and I have raised the ticket for the same issue and they have suggested me these steps and it worked for me. So, and also we need to mention the host name and SOAP name same as that of host name. So basically what is your host name? The main environment link for the sandbox environment, and the SOAP name would be also the same as that of the finance and operations links for the UAT environment. There is no difference for the UAT, both would be same, host name and SOAP name. So that is the main point for the UAT configuration of RSET. So I hope you have find this video helpful, and if you find this video helpful, please try to share this video because it takes tremendous time to do this demonstration basically. And you can also drop comments if you have any doubts, and I have mentioned all the links for my blog and also for the Microsoft official documentation for the RSET tool in the description. So thanks for watching this video, guys, and please subscribe to our channel, so I will also demonstrate interesting topics from the finance and operations world. See you in the next video. Thank you, guys.